share it later. So let me just do this. Continuous recording. Good evening, everyone. This is Tuesday evening business training. We're leaving it pretty open today for Q&A. So those of you watching this later and the recorded version, whatever questions come up for you, just post them in the comments in the thread, and I'm happy to reply, or actually keep them on file for our next call. And then I don't have to type a ton. We'll just go over those questions for our next Q&A, which I hope to do once a month. But Rodney, my gold leader, is on with me tonight. And I think most of the people on the team live or on the call live are from Rodney's team. So if there are things, Rodney, that your team has kind of brought to your attention in terms of topics or questions or concerns that you've seen come up in the last couple months or what have you, let me know and share or ask or whatever, and we'll go over that. And then whoever else is on the call or who ends up popping on, feel free to, when we ask for questions, unmute yourself to ask, or you could even type them in the chat box and we will go over them as well. And I have a couple tools I'll share. I mean, I've shared them before, but for maybe people that haven't seen that part of it or are interested in some of the tools that I use, I'm happy to share them as well. But Rodney, anything on your end?
Well, I would like to hear a little bit about people who are leaders and what's expected of them by the upline. And then not just that, because as you said before, people can say, hey, I want to build. And then tomorrow they could say, I just want to be a customer. And then obviously there is no expectations. They can be whatever they want. We give them that freedom. There's no pressure. Let's just have that transparency and communication between each other. But also what's expected of people who are on the front line, because that's different.
You mean people who you're ranking with?
Correct.
Right? Okay, because you're not on my front line, but I rank with you. So in doTERRA, you rank with certain leaders, and ideally, if that's the case, you have a certain level of real open communication with those leaders, because like Rodney said, not everyone is doing this as a full-on business where like this is our bread and butter, like it is for me and Rodney as leaders. Those of you who are not familiar with who I am or who may watch this later and don't know who I am from Rodney's team or from someone else's team that finds their way to this video, I am Marlene, and I've been with doTERRA for almost, 5 years. 2019 is 5 years, building full-time about a year in. So this is all I do, right? This is how I pay my mortgage and how I live and how I eat. The same thing goes for Rodney. We do doTERRA full-time. It is the most of our income from our business, our wellness business, because we do other things and we may get a little income here and there from other things we work with. But the bulk of what we do and how we build residual income, which is the best income in the world, is through doTERRA. And so what Rodney's explaining is that we in doTERRA have a really unique situation in that not everyone who is in doTERRA or shares doTERRA, enrolls people, is necessarily doing it the way Rodney and I are doing it. I would say most people aren't. Most people are working a full-time job, raising their families, taking care of their husbands, and doing doTERRA kind of like, every now and then, or, they may have some longer term goals and may say, okay, well, every month I know I'm going to do at least one event because I really want to get to those leadership ranks, but it's going to take me a little longer because I just can't do it the way Marlene and Rodney do it because this is all they do and this is not all I do. And that is the way most people do doTERRA. That said, like Rodney said, when there's been a commitment and there's been an agreement with Rodney or myself and someone on the team who is going to be a part of what makes Rodney or myself rank, there should be a little bit more of a priority in terms of like when something's needed, when something's asked. We normally as builders or leaders ask that if we make a request or send out a message or we need some information from a leader, that we get a response within 24 hours. Because for us, like, again, this is how we live. Like, if Rodney doesn't tell me what he's expecting at the end of a month in volume or answers a question I need answered, I may not hit my rank. And I'm not going to be a happy camper if that happens. And Rodney understands that because Rodney's in the same boat. And so all we ask is that when someone has agreed to take on a role like that on our organization and we need something or we're working on something where we need your input, just to, answer in a good amount of time. And if that is not something you can no longer commit to doing, let us know that too, because we can change people in and out of different positions based on their ability and or desire to be in that position. So as long as and I talked about this a little bit on the last call, as long as they're like open lines of communication and whoever, is maybe had said in the past they want to build or they want to share, and those desires have changed, just let us know, because we don't know. Like, we're going to keep coming and responding to you or asking you about what you have going on this month or what plans you have for your organization or your classes or your growth, because last we heard you were building or sharing. So if that's changing, just let us know. And I mean, we can kind of figure it out little by little as we see the non-response and the no, returning of our emails or calls or texts or, all of that. Actions speak louder than words, so they say. But it's so much better to just let us know, and we can let you know as well, like what we're up to or what's going on for us. And I think that's just the important part of this, because we are a group, a culture that brings people into our organization, whether or not we're doing a full-on business or not. So, and it can be really stressful for us as leaders when we're not getting the responses we need to certain questions that may affect our paycheck or how we're able to take care of the needs of our clients, who very well may have been enrolled by someone else, not even us. But here we are picking up the pieces and doing the things for our clients that the enroller's not doing, because the enroller's not doing the business. But we may still need to reach out to you and get some information or something so that we can take care of the client the way we believe is necessary, the way we took care of you, who maybe enrolled that person and who can't do that. Because that's what it really takes to get somebody into the lifestyle of doTERRA. It's not just enrolling them. There's, doing the overviews, making sure they understand LRP, making sure they know what free points are, they know how to log into their account and place the order. I got a message yesterday with a screenshot from someone else on my team enrolled, and they were like, I'm trying to place an order. It was like 11:30 at night. I'm trying to place an order and I can't place it. And the screenshot said they weren't even logged in. And I'm like, well, you need to be logged into your account to place an order. Have you had an overview? So that you can learn how to do that. So those are the types of things that are important. Rodney, did you have something?
Yeah, I had something to say based on, kind of piggybacking on what you're saying, and if you can go in more in depth, and if you want me to, it's fine too. But the steps after enrolling, I think a lot of times people don't take those steps, even though I posted them like many times on my business, and I'm sure you have on my business groups, on pages on Facebook and social media. But people enroll someone and then they don't support them. They don't add them to support groups. They don't do their membership overviews. That's going to be an issue. It's a major disservice to that client. You're going to lose that client, so everyone loses. So to make sure that everyone wins, everyone, including the client, we just want to make sure that we follow these steps. We're very simple, but they're crucial steps that people tend not to take often. Or they do like an overview, but they don't actually use the PDF. And that's so important, because even with the PDF, when you're showing these people the images, they still tend to forget a lot of the information. So when you're just kind of like throwing words out, you're doing like a quick minute overview, that's not enough. So I just wanted to kind of throw out there, if you want to, kind of explain a little bit more, Marlene.
The PDF that Rodney's mentioning or referring to is the Live Guide with doTERRA. It's Empowered Success. You can actually get that on your back office. You can download it for free. Go over it on your computer with them. If you don't want to purchase booklets and give them out to your clients, you can still show them the information by downloading the image, by downloading the brochure and just showing them and going through each page, making sure they know all the different products that doTERRA has that they're already buying out there at Walmart or Target or whatever, and explaining to them why it's important to switch over to doTERRA, get the most out of their membership, getting natural products, all the things you guys are probably already doing, right? Because that's why you're sharing. Get and just kind of making sure they understand all that, and then getting right into the back office with them. Log into their account with them. Show them what it looks like to place an order. Show them what it looks like to do an LRP. Why do they want to do an LRP? Make sure they understand that there is no minimum for them, as far as like if they just order 1 or 2 things a month of what they need, they're good. They'll get their shipping points back. Make sure they know they don't have to spend X amount of dollars or whatever, because a lot of times people stay out of auto ship programs because of those they tend to have those types of requirements, and people shy away from that. So make sure they understand all of the benefits in doTERRA's program. I can tell you, when I do a good overview and I explain that to people, very few and far between don't hop right on and do it, because I explain to them, you are buying these products, right? You buy deodorant. In fact, there's even a and you may have it, Rodney, there's a form. I've only used it a couple times because I just talk and it does. But if you need something to show people concrete, you could go through all this. There's a form. This guy, Roger Webb, I think his name is, did it. And you could go through and it shows all the different products that doTERRA has and that people normally buy. And you could go through and ask them, how much do you spend on toothpaste? How much do you spend on shampoo? How much do you spend on laundry detergent? How much do you spend on dishwashing liquid? And you could have them add all that up with them. And then you could do that times 30% and show them all the money that they would be saving with doTERRA by getting all of those products that we have replacements for, and we pay you to shop with us with our 30% loyalty rewards maxing out on that program. So that's another way to kind of show people, look at me. Because a lot of times people go, and I've had this, right? Oh, I'm healthy. I don't need to be on anything every month. I don't need, oils every month. I don't need the vitamins. I don't swallow pills. So I get my vitamins through food, and I'm very healthy, and I'm not going to need something every month, so I'm not going to get on LRP, right? Have you heard that one before? I'm pretty sure everyone's heard that one if you've done a member overview. But who doesn't buy laundry detergent, deodorant, lotion, skin care, and whatever else, right? So show them, okay, well, maybe you don't want to take the vitamins. I would still kind of get into, it's probably necessary you supplement even if you eat healthy, because we're not getting the vitamins we need. But even if they're not open to that, they don't swallow pills, whatever. We do have the liquid omegas too you can talk to them about. But anyway, you go through that list of what they do buy and show them, why don't you try doTERRA's version, a more natural version, and where do you get this stuff? At Sam's Club, at Walmart, at Target, at whatever. Do they give you anything back for shopping with them? For products that probably have a bunch of chemicals that are not good for you, and that you may say you're healthy now, but if you keep using that stuff, you're not going to be someday, right? So then, they're going to be like, yeah, no, you're right. I do buy deodorant. I do buy this. I do buy that. Okay, well, why not do it with doTERRA, and just try it out. And then that's when I get into, if they're like kind of hesitant and I get into the incentive piece. I think a lot of people give away way too much in terms of incentives with doTERRA in just enrolling someone. Oh, I enrolled them with a kit. So I gave them a diffuser and a book, and I gave them some roller bottles, and I gave them sample bottles, and I gave them tear sheets, and for enrolling. No. Just because someone enrolls, you don't have to give them, I don't give any incentives for enrolling, unless I'm like super close to like a rank goal or something like that. Other than that, it's through the LRP. And I don't always give incentives for that. If they're ready to get right on because I'm explaining to them and they understand the value and the incentive of the points alone, they hop on. If they're like, I don't know, well, maybe, then I'll say, okay, well, if you give it a try for 90 days, right, then I'll give you XYZ or whatever. So that's when you can get into incentives. But I would say doing a good member overview to me is way more important than how big of a kit you enroll them with. Who cares what you enroll them with? You could enroll them with $35 and a lavender oil. But if you explain to them how to use their membership throughout the year and get them on LRP with a few products per month, that all adds up to helping them understand the lifestyle. And as for your business, every little bit counts every month in your retention. That's what makes a business. If not, you're constantly going to have to enroll a ton of people. And most people don't enroll like that. That's very rare that you have somebody that's enrolling 7, 8, 20 people a month. So you want to really build your income and get on your ranks and stay at your ranks, you have to have retention. And that means you got to get people on LRP. So you got to get real comfortable with explaining the value of LRP and getting them on there. And if you can't do that, please, get those people in touch with Rodney, if that's your leader, or myself. And also plug them into Oil Camp. We have so many enrollments per month. Even on a slow month in the summer, like last month, we had still 34 people or something, 40 people come into the team. And we're doing an oil camp. I think last month we had like 50 something people. And we're doing an oil camp. I only see 2 people in there participating. That's the only reason that's happening, is because our members, our sharers, and people that are enrolling people, you're not explaining to them the value of oil camp. If you haven't taken it yourself, then you don't know the value. So you need to go through and take an oil camp yourself and understand all the things you learn from an oil camp, which is a Facebook event that we do 2 weeks. Every few weeks, we start a new one. We go over the 10 basic oils that most people get into doTERRA with. We go over LRP. We go over the heart of the company. It's a lot of visuals. We do prizes. So if you explain this to people when you're enrolling them, look, not only do you get my help, you get this whole community, and you get this free 2-week school, and you really like talk it up for all the things that it is. People get excited to actually participate in oil camp if you explain it to them properly. And that's another way that you could like plug them into a system. If you don't have the time to do a proper member overview, if someone goes through oil camp properly, they're going to end up on LRP too. But, I try to give the team the tools so that if I'm not going to do all the member overviews because I don't know about all the people missing them, that at least they do oil camp. And we just, like I said, we're finishing up one now. There's only 2 people in there. We're going to start another one just so you can mark your calendars. July 29th is the next oil camp. Please go back to the people you enrolled last month and call them and explain to them what oil camp is. And if you don't know because you haven't taken it, take an oil camp and do it with them. And just explain to them it's a free program for 2 weeks that they can learn about the basic oils. I'm going to go up here and look at some questions that are coming up for people.
I'm actually writing everything down.
Okay. Aisha says, what would be your response to people who are, that's a good one, Aisha. That's something I've been actually thinking about with oil camp, because I do have a few people that don't do Facebook. What I would do is maybe get a free email program. Like, I don't know what they have, the monkey thing, or I forget what they're called, but you could then copy and paste all the oil camp posts into those automated email things. So you don't got to remember to send an email every day for 2 weeks. That's another, because everybody uses email, or maybe even text message. I love text. I think most people look at their text more than they do email, but you could do that too. I told Rodney about it. There's a program, a text app called Remind, I think it's called. It was set up for school systems, but you could use that to set up for free automated messages to send to people, whether you do it for oil camp or you do it for BOGOs or you do it for whatever you want to do it, the LRP of the month, the product of the month. I'm going to start using it too. You can do that. And I'm going to hopefully at some point be able to transfer all the oil camp stuff into that as well for people who are not on Facebook. I mean, there's very few and far between, but it does happen. It does happen. And we still want them to get the oil camp, information. And of course, doing again the member overviews. You got to do your member overviews, even if it's on the phone or however you can do them, and just explain to people the benefits. Does that cover it, Rodney?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, guys, I also put if anyone, I think sometimes people listen to this stuff and it's great information and material, but then they're like, but I'm so confused because what she's saying makes sense, but what in the world is a membership PDF? Membership overview, and what's the PDF, and where do I get that? What did she say? Or who's Roger Webb or whatever. So I did write some notes in the chat section if you guys just want to go there. Membership overview, every single time I have to do a membership overview, all I do is go on Google. You can do it Marlene's way, or you can go on Google and put in doTERRA membership overview PDF. Bam, it's right there. It's got to be the first 3 options. And then as far as Roger Webb and that list of information, or like the way to explain over the overview and close people on an LRP, Roger Webb is a Blue Diamond. I actually met him in Arizona last year. He has 5 kids. He's a single dad, and he got the Blue Diamond. So he's doing something right. I just gave you a link for information about him, and you can kind of go hunt for that particular list. I don't use it, so I don't have it on me, but if you could find it, maybe someone could share it to the rest of us. And yeah.
Cool. Any other questions? Let me look down and see if anybody posted anything. Yes, Aisha, the email. So yeah, just, and maybe the team could come together and share that. If you end up doing a file, I don't know, I guess if you use the email, everyone's gotta just copy and paste it. But if you do it in a file where it's easier or something like that, I don't know. There's another thing I want to do eventually is make an oil camp in Spanish as well, because we do have a growing team in Puerto Rico. And it's not as easy for them to go through oil camp when they don't really speak the language. So, these are just things I'd love to put in place, but sometimes it feels like, it's a waste when nobody's in there participating and I have people doing it for me and all of that stuff. So please just make sure to remember to mention that to your enrollments during enrollment so that they really understand and get excited about it. Oh my God, you got to do oil camp. It's great. And you get prizes and, all the stuff I just talked to you about, it's going to all be reiterated in it. And it's visuals and little videos and they're short. While you're washing the dishes, you can watch it and blah, 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 blah. When people commit and they get in, they do oil camp, in my experience, those are people that become my sharers. Those are people that end up wanting to build and hear, at least listen to a business overview. Those are people who get on LRP, off jump. Those are people who are like, oh my God, I love the Heart of doTERRA and what they're doing around the world. I didn't realize that. All of that stuff, they become a part of the community and they enjoy that and they love how that feels. So I can't stress enough how important it is to get people to understand that and to get them to participate if you're enrolling them. Because you're going to lose them. If you enroll someone and that's it, then that's it. They're not going to use doTERRA the way we want them to. So that's really important.
Can I mention something? Yeah, it definitely has a lot to do with how you message and talk to people, guys, to get excited. Marlene, when she enrolled me 3 years ago, she was talking to me a long time about getting a doTERRA account, and I was already using some cheap oils that were probably poisonous at the local market. But I don't know. I just never did the account for like months. Marlene was talking to me here and there. Finally, Marlene sent me a text message. Hey, let's start your account with an exclamation mark. And I was just like, oh, yeah, okay, let's start it. I mean, so there's something about that excitement that really gets, even if it's just a text message, which is easy, right? Just a text message, not a big deal. It's the best way to get someone to get excited. And so if you contact someone for the oil camp and you're like, hey, there's this thing called oil camp, and you don't have to go. I know we just did a membership over. You hate to bother you. No, you don't want to talk to them like that. You want to say, oh my God, you have to go to oil camp. It's starting in next week or in a few days. And there's free oils you can get. You can learn a lot more about, because you keep asking me all these questions about these oils. It's going to be perfect for you to be there and get educated. Keep it short and brief. Don't give them a book or anything. But yeah, the excitement, very important. And it's the same thing with closing people or following up with them for classes. If you're not getting a lot of people to show up for your classes, you might want to show some excitement and confidence that, they're going to get the best, experience when they go.
Absolutely. It's all about our enthusiasm and that people feel like they're really getting something of value. So you have to show in your voice and your excitement the value that they're getting. And it is value. It took a long time to create that oil camp. And I could easily charge for it too. Be like, you want to come in and you got to pay whatever. But no, it's free for our members. So, and I paid hundreds of dollars for it. So it's not free for everyone. So, just explain it with excitement and get the overviews done. And like I said, reach out to me, Rodney, and whoever your leader is. I mean, on my team, it's basically Rodney, myself, and Liz are like the full-time builders. But then if you were enrolled, there's quite a few people who are very, self-sufficient on my team as sharers too. And they take care of their people. And I think that's amazing, because you're getting a fast start, you're getting paid. Not just to tell somebody about the oils, but to actually support and guide them and do what we did for you to make you fall in love with the oils, right? Because if we would have just been like, all right, Natalie, here's your kit. Peace out. Have fun with your oils. Would you love the oils you do the way you do today? Probably not. Like you do because I kept inviting you to classes and I kept, teaching you about the other products and giving you samples of other things and talking to you and how are you doing with your oils and what, right? So we have to do that with the new people too. Even if you're sharing, maybe not on the level that me and Rodney do it, but on some level, so they can understand the value and stick with it. Any other topics, Rodney, you want to go over, or any questions, you guys? I know there's 8 people on. You want to just put in the chat like what some of your struggles are, you know, whether it's getting people to classes like Rodney said, or enrolling new people. Like, talk to me about where you are feeling stuck. And I can give some suggestions, as well as Rodney. I mean, I think he works similar to me in some ways and different than me in others. So we can give you 2 different perspectives.
Yeah, and I also wanted to mention for mentor calls and trainings, guys, it's really great to get your questions together prior to kind of just have an idea. Because, I mean, I don't know about you, if I go to the doctors or wherever and they ask, hey, do you have any questions? When you're put on the spot, you can't really think of anything, right? But if you kind of get prepared and you have all your questions, because I know everyone has questions. You're always thinking, oh God, I want to build this, or I want to do this, but I don't know. I have to remember to ask Rodney. But those questions are fleeting. They eventually leave your head. So yeah, I would just say be prepared, come with questions and stuff, and that'll help. But yeah, if you
I'm gonna make a post like a week before each of these calls where we put, you know, post your questions there. So it kind of gets you going with thinking of the questions, and then this way, by the time we get on the call, we will know what we're going to be answering too. And if others come up, that's totally fine too. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have any, I'll just keep talking about, because we have a little bit more time. Like, I can talk about sharing. I have my little share case here with samples and how I sample people, what I use, what I keep on me, because I think sometimes people have a hard time with new people, with meeting new people, because they say, oh, well, everybody I know is already in doTERRA. I already got all my friends and my coworkers and my families. Everyone's on my team already, and that's it. I guess I'm done. So, you know, but yet you go out into the world every day and you meet people. You see, Aisha says, how would you charge people if you want to make and take classes and work? Okay, so charging for make and takes, tricky, because technically we cannot charge for essential oils of doTERRA in other bottles, right? We can't charge for that because it takes away our protection if something happens to the person using the oil, like if they have a sensitivity or something. doTERRA covers us. Like, we are not liable for that. They have attorneys and legal departments and all of that. But if you go and make something and you sell it at a make and take, and then somebody breaks out, they can sue you. And doTERRA is not going to protect you because you didn't sell it in a doTERRA bottle. So when you're doing that, Aisha, the couple ways you could do it is you could charge to attend the class. So like a door charge, and then it includes XYZ, like whatever you're going to be giving at that class is already in there. And be specific that they're not paying for the actual essential oils. They're paying for whatever else you've made, like the jar with the base of whatever else is in there, right? That's how you can do it. Or you can charge, you know, for the actual items, but you're not charging for the oils. Like, sometimes people bring their own essential oils to my make and takes and they use their own oils. And they're just paying me for, like, if we're making a sunscreen, all the other, you know, the base of that sunscreen with a jar, or the base of the cleaning products, or the base of the serum, or whatever it is that they're getting from me. And that's basically how you can sell without selling, because you're selling the other things in there, not the doTERRA oils. That's kind of how you can do it. I hope that answers your question.
I actually wouldn't mind just anyone who has an oil account. If I make like a Lysol, like an alternative Lysol, like it's all natural essential oils, and I do a make and take. I've never done a make and take. I plan on doing them with Asia. But my idea is that maybe I have, you know, I make these items, and obviously people in the audience are like, damn, I want to take this home. Do I buy it? And I'm like, you can buy, I guess you could buy it. Or I feel like I would just give them away to the people who already have an account through me and they're already on LRP. And then I would just give it to them because I don't know, it's kind of reward. And it would also encourage the people who do not have an account who are sitting in the audience to think about getting an account. Because, you know, well, I want free stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what I've done too is if they're already on LRP and they have an account, because this is the thing, and everyone has different budgets, right? But getting the stuff to make all these things, it costs us money. Like, we've got to spend money to make all these different products, and not everyone has the income to just give it all away. So if you want to do giving away, I would recommend if they're in doTERRA and they're on LRP, let them bring their own essential oils to make the stuff, and then you just sell them whatever it costs you. Like, it cost me $5 to make this, then you pay me the $5 and cover my cost. Now, if they come brand new, yeah, like I totally would like, okay, well, if you enroll with your kit, right, because that fast start is going to help me pay for what I've made, right? So you enroll with the kit and you can take your pick of, 2 or 3 of the make and takes today. If they happen to bring new people, which, by the way, is what I'm doing for July, for my classes in July. I'm going to do classes where it's a make and take, and it's mostly the people, because what you find when you do the make and takes and you do the continuing education classes, what you're going to find is that the people come that already are on your team. They're already on LRP. They're your little oil tribe. They love coming to everything you do. I call them my little doTERRA groupies. And they're on doTERRA, they're on LRP, they're on all of that. So I'm kind of preaching to the choir at some point, right? And so that doesn't really help build. I mean, it helps keep your current retention to some degree, but it doesn't help boost your retention so much all the time. And it doesn't help bring new people in. So when you have these classes that the same people come to over and over again because they love them, because it's social for them too. They have fun. People go and pay good money to go to paint night and ceramic night and whatever else. So that's part of people's like social activity. So what you could do is say, okay, you can come for free, but bring a friend. And so my class for July is a summer of sharing. We're going to make all kinds of make and take stuff and DIY. And their ticket to come is they bring someone. And so then for those new people, absolutely, I'm going to do some sort of incentive where, if you enroll with the kit, take your pick of today's DIY stuff, right? But the people who are there on LRP and blah, 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 that already come to every class, that I'm already spending money, I'm not going to just give away free stuff because they're just going to come for the free stuff at some point. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to figure that part out. Or if they're there and they've never been on LRP, I may say, okay, well, commit to LRP for 3 months and I'll let you take a product home free today or something like that, right? But the people on LRP and what have you, you want to at least cover your costs with. So again, either by door charging donations or they just pay for the other base of the products that you're making. Does that make sense, Rodney?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good idea for you guys who are doing classes that just have the same people coming and they love them. So you can come if you bring a new person. And I've had so far, we'll see how it goes, but yeah.
I've never done a make and take or a workshop. I've done 10 basic oil class because that's what works for me. And I get a really great conversion rate. The people 90% of the time will enroll on kits or they'll just enroll. So I've always stuck with those. But now that I've had so many classes in these spaces of just the basic oil class, a lot of the people who have enrolled with me want to see other classes. They're not going to keep going to the same one. So now I have to do mood classes, not have to, I get to. Got to change the words around because I really like doing them. But the mood classes, maybe boost your metabolism class, do workshops with Asia, which I'm excited about. But I want to mention, guys, for those of you who have not taught a class yet, I really encourage you to do so because it's kind of the basic platform from which to branch out and build a business. And I was listening to a Presidential Diamond speak about events and classes. If you don't have at least 4 classes or events or trade shows or something, then you're not really building the business. You have to have at least 4 things going on. If you're under 4, like you're doing one thing a month or something, you're more of a sharer. And Marlene could correct me on that, but if you really want to hit like leadership ranks, you would need to do at least 3 to 4 somethings. You know what I mean? Kind of put it on your calendar. Everyone's got a weekend that they could put like an hour into. What do you think, Marlene?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be classes. It could be, I built 90% of my business on one-on-ones. So you could just be meeting with a new person, but I encourage you to have a list of people. We do the 100 names list and go through your list and get people who at least, those of you who are newer to this can use the excuse of, I'm really passionate about these oils. Would you just sit through a presentation with me and just like help me practice? I just want to practice it. No pressure. You don't have to buy anything. Just want to practice it and just practice your presentation with as many people as you can. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to enroll. You're going to enroll those people. A lot of them are going to go, well, why aren't you trying to sell me some of these oils? Like, I want some. I already heard, they're going to want some. And you're going to get more comfortable with doing the presentation so that if you're not comfortable with a full-on class yet, you're going to get comfortable with the one-on-one. And here's the thing. Absolutely. Like, why does this thing keep unmuting? Oh, no, that was you. I'm sorry. There's one that just keeps unmuting weirdly. Let me just do all, and then I'll take you off. Where are you? You disappeared. Oh, there you are. Okay. Here's the thing. So when you come across new people, right? And some people like Rodney, they have spaces where they just do this class every month. And if sometimes people show up, they show up. Other times they don't. But if I get a lead, or if I get somebody that wants to come in and learn about the oils, I'm not going to wait until I have my next class. I have classes almost every month, whether I'm here or I'm traveling. But they're like what Rodney said, they're classes that most of the people that come already are on the team already. Like, they may have enrolled last month with me on a one-on-one, and now they're coming to learn more about other areas or to get a full class or what have you. But most of the time, it's not going to be like a ton of brand new people. Because the brand new people that filter in here and there, I grab them and I make appointments with them on the spot, and I do one-on-ones because I don't want to lose them. I don't want to have them wait until 2 weeks later because they may get better by then, or they may decide they don't need it or what have you. So does that make sense? You could just do one-on-ones for that part. And then as you do classes, if you get like, every now and then it'll happen where someone will say, oh, Marlene, I've been, a new person will say, I've been going to my kids' daycare or after school program, and and the girls were asking me about the oil. So I have like 4 or 5 of the girls interested. Then yeah, if they could all get together at one time, great. Let's get them together at one time and have a class with them. But if they can't all come at the same time, then I'll still say, well, find out when each of them is available and we'll meet separately. So I encourage you not to wait to get people to go to your classes. Like, have your classes and try to invite the people that you haven't been able to do one-on-ones yet. Or if you have a team already, then definitely no. Then definitely start doing your continuing ed classes. Start doing your green cleaning classes and your skincare, because those are the classes that you're going to teach them about the products that get them on LRP, right? Because they're going to run out of the green cleaning and the skincare more, even faster than the oil sometimes. So, learn how to do those classes with your upline. Teach them the emotions, the chakras great, and the things you enjoy, the things that light you up and that you're inspired to teach about. I know Natalie on the call did a customer appreciation class. A lot of people came to that. That's awesome. Appreciate your customers, pamper them, love on them, things like that. And, even if it's just one-on-ones, 3 or 4 one-on-ones a week or a month, you're still going to grow slowly. You'll still grow, but it's getting the new people. It's getting, the people on your team to get you referrals, reach out to them. And I've kind of gotten a little bit away from this. I have to get back on because I've ran out of my sample bottles. But for a long time, when I have a new person come in, I gift them 5 or 6 sample bottles right with their enrollment. And I encourage them. I'm like, could you please share a sample or 2 with people that you end up, hearing that is suffering from something. You could share a sample and refer them to me. And they'll share their oils, and they'll then call you and say, oh yeah, I gave a sample of my friend for her headache, and she it really helped her. Then they may come back and ask you for the full on support with giving them the consult or whatever. But those types of things, getting referrals, and it's the verbiage again, like Rodney said earlier, it's how we say it. When it feels yummy, when it feels like these people are getting you referrals to make a difference in the world, to help someone suffering, to help, you do what you love doing, which is to wake people up and have them understand that there's a way to get better that's outside of the chemical world. People want to do that. They want to help others, as opposed to when it's that typical, salesy, can you give me 5 referrals and I'll give you this or that, or here, write these names down. I've been to different other tech company events, and at the end of the event they'll give me a paper and say, here, write down a form, write down 5 friends and their email and their phone number, and I'll give you whatever. That doesn't inspire me. I don't just give people's information up for no reason. Yeah.
Okay. Asia, Nancy, and I think that those are my two that are on right now. But so we have our website that that I've created. It's a little off topic kind of, but it's all about sharing. It is pertaining to getting people to come to your classes. So the website that I've created, holistichealersllc.com. Can I share that here, Marlene? Can I share it? Okay, I'm gonna share. And this is gonna help you guys get people to go to your classes. So can you guys see that? Marlene, can you see it? Because they can't see it. Okay, so you go to Wellness Advocates, and then there you guys. So they can actually click on you, and it's gonna be an Asia. Asia was gonna help me do the website, and I'm gonna go back to Asia to do this with her, but I wanted to get the basic up and running. So you could actually click on it, and you can pull up these people. But the other thing is that I want to get the class schedules on here. So when people want to RSVP with you, you can give them like a business card or just do it with them over the phone. So if they're like, well, I want to go to one of your classes, instead of them saying that and say, okay, well, I hope you show up, goodbye, you can actually get on their phone with them and say, well, just go to this website, holistichealersllc.com. See right there, go to classes, and they can see all the classes within your location, including yours when you're teaching classes, because you will be teaching classes, right? And then they can actually RSVP because we'll have a link to Eventbrite. So they'll click the link, they'll RSVP themselves. Maybe you can offer them a free wild orange oil if they show up on time or early, because we reward people for good behavior, right? You got to be on time. You can't be 30 minutes late and get a free wild orange oil, even though people try. So anyway, that'd be really good. I'm going to make business cards. Specifically, it says like redeem your free wild orange or something like that, and then the link to the website, or maybe specifically that link that has all of our classes for them to RSVP, or you can just do it with them over the phone right on the spot and RSVP them, and then of course follow up with them, put them on a list or something. So these are just little ideas I want to throw out there to kind of help get more people into the classes if you have trouble doing that. So
yeah, definitely, the website's going to be awesome. By no means is it necessary to build a business though, guys. I've never had a website, and it's going to probably be a while before I have one. It's a great tool, but don't feel like you need it to do anything. You could keep it real simple, especially in the beginning. You don't need to do any of that stuff in the very beginning, especially. Okay, any other questions? We have about 10 minutes left, and we'll be on for a full hour by then. Let me know if there's any other things that have been coming up for you guys. Another great tool that I love myself is the trifold. We have the empty template on my leadership page. I love it because it's got all the ways to enroll on the back. It's got the 10 basic oils. I teach the full class with this. I do my consults with it. It's got the kits here. I mean, it's just a super easy way to share the bulk of what you need to in the very beginning. So I get these made, and I keep them, and they're cheap enough to give away even when you give a sample or something. So that's what I basically use. These cases, they have them on aroma tools. You could fill them up with samples and just have them on you. You'd be surprised how many times I'm out and about, and go to the bank, and the bank teller's like, oh my God, my head, or at the post office or whatever, and opportunities just come up for me to be like, hey, would you try this? And can I, and I just meet a new person just like that. So, and I am not like a super outgoing extrovert or anything, but if you observe out there, people complain all the time right to you. So if you're prepared with a little sample, it's a really good thing. It's a really good thing. So I don't see any other questions coming up. You have anything else, Rodney?
No, but I will suggest you guys, for those of you who are on, and if you have builders of your own, then I encourage you to go to these. And you are getting value. There's something that you didn't hear before, or you didn't know before, that now you know. Just little tidbits and things that you collect over time, which is why it's so important to make sure that you attend these. You don't have to go to every one that we do. At least one a month. That is, like, if you're building, or if you're sharing, especially if you're building, just make sure that you attend one of these a month. It's just 1 hour the entire month. Very important. And you should also probably consider doing mentor calls with your upline, but definitely go to business trainings. It's really important. If you can't actually live with your upline, which is, a blessing if it happens, that the trainings just to go to them once a month so you can ask your questions and hear a bunch of information that you may not have known. It's kind of crucial if you want to build.
Yeah, we're getting into our busy season too. So August through December are our busiest months in doTERRA. People tend to get sick after the summer and tend to up their LRPs again, or tend to be open to just trying something new. These new people, there's so many people in the world that still have no idea that doTERRA exists, or that essential oils could be medicine or anything like that. Like, we are by no means anywhere near being saturated at all. Most of the people I still meet today have never heard of doTERRA, have no real idea. I mean, sometimes they like know what an oil is now because they're like, oh yeah, I've seen them at the stores, and I have a diffusion, I use oils. And I'm like, well, can you drink those? No. Then why are you using them in your diffuser, right? So you just, now people may know a little bit about them, but then you educate them on why they don't want to use perfume as aromatherapy, because it's not aromatherapy. But still, so many people have no clue what they are, or that they could be medicine. So plenty of work to be done. Ask for referrals if you really, really want to share, and whatever that goal is for you. Maybe for some of you, it's not to be diamond, or it's not to, quit your job or whatever. Maybe you just want your healthcare paid for. You could do that. You could have your oils every month. And there's people on this call right now that I know for a fact have free oils today. They pay nothing for their oils. They get all their oils free, their green cleaning free, their skincare free. Everything is free for them. And what are they saving? Hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars per year, because doTERRA has now paid for that for them, because they've shared with others the impact that doTERRA has had in their life. So if that's all you want to, that's fine. That's perfect. That's my goal for everyone who I enroll, is to get everyone who I enroll, or everyone on the team, to desire to get their healthcare paid for. Why not? All you gotta do is share with a few people. And if we all did our part and just shared a little bit, and those of you who say, but people are skeptical and they don't believe me and they don't want to try, or they don't want to invest, those people will come around. They'll come around, or just go on to the next person and go on to the next person. There's going to be people that are open. There's going to be people that aren't open right away. Tap into all of us. Some of you on my call right now that are here were not open when I met you. Rodney wasn't open when I met him. Like he said, it took me 2 years. So you just keep planting those seeds. I sample people. I put oils on them. I do an aroma touch on them. I do a symphony on them. I lend them a diffuser. You just serve people and you show them you care. You show them that they work, and they will open up to it. But you got to sometimes put a little bit more effort with certain people than others, right? And so that's where it comes in, where, are you willing to do that? Are you willing to love on people a little bit before they start, spending money with doTERRA? Like, sometimes it may take that, or believing you, or trusting you. And most of the people I know on here that I know personally love people and are very humanitarian and very giving. And just keep that in mind, just try to reframe things a little bit when you get the people that are negative, or, whatever the case is, into that, you planted the seed, you did your part, and maybe they're not ready right now, but the day will come that they're going to see the light the way you saw the light, if you weren't open at first, and a lot of you weren't. So remember that, when you're talking to people, like, well, I wasn't really open. It took Marlene, 2 years to get me to enroll, or it took Rodney a couple times before I did it. So that's how it works sometimes, most of the time, right? When it's something new to someone and they're afraid, and it's their health and they've always done what the doctor said or whatever, right? So it just takes time, but keep at it. Do it from a really heart-centered space, because you just care about people, and be patient and kind and calm with them, and they'll come around. And if you do that every month consistently with a few people, and you're deliberate about meeting new people every month, getting referrals, carrying your samples on you, being prepared when it comes up, if you want to earn income with doTERRA, you will eventually earn income. You will. Absolutely. Because of our retention. So I hope that helps. That's about an hour now that I've been talking. So if there aren't any other questions, or Rodney or whatever, we will be posting the recording of this on the page later. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your summer. We will do another call in August. August, I will be traveling again a little bit, but I'll definitely try to get with Rodney and do a call. September is convention, so we will have new products coming out and new oils, and that's going to also kind of like boost up our retention and the excitement on the team when everyone starts getting all the new stuff and everything. So it's going to be fun that quarter. Lots of busy stuff going on with doTERRA. So
I just want to say, you guys, because we're ready to go probably, but on the chat area, there are important things that I put over there pertaining to what Marlene was talking about, membership overview PDF link, just information, and, after you enroll someone, the steps that you take to ensure that they're supported. So just copy and paste that, put it on your files if you don't have it already, or if you don't know this stuff, just copy and paste that. That's like sort of the bullet points.
Yeah, and if Rodney, because I think once we get off the call, they're going to lose that chat. So maybe if you could grab it too and post it in the thread when I post the recording. Okay. So the people that watch the recording, they may not see that. I don't know how this, I'm not really that techie, but I'm pretty sure they won't see it in the recording. So if we could post it in the thread, that'd be great.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for being on tonight. It's always a pleasure talking oils and financial wellness with everyone. And if anything else comes up, just post in the comments on the leader page. Have a great July. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.